Okay, so that's how we gonna start day 2 of training camp. The instant reaction to day 2, because as you know, on these videos, on the day of, after practice is over, I give you some of the biggest takeaways that we saw throughout that practice and just the overall theme of the practice, right? And then in the live stream tomorrow morning, we'll get into the full recap where we go into the nitty-gritty and really, really break down what it is that we saw happen in day 2 of training camp. But woo! Today was a banger. Y'all saw that clip to start the video out. We're just going to start there because Brian Schottenheimer said this was going to be a physical-ass training camp. I don't think he wants them to be this physical, though. Let's get right into it, and be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content on the regular. Man, shut your up. All right, so first things first, y'all can see this video right here, man. The Cowboys, they got into somewhat of a little scuffle. All right, let's take a look at this. This is going to be Marquise Bell and someone on the Cowboys offense. I think it was Troy Pride, right? Let's take a look at this. You kind of see right here, guy's arm is extended, and these are the two culprits, like kind of right here in this part of the video right here. That we start to play this, and then boom, you see a punch get thrown, right? 14, Marquise Bell, there's the punch. I ain't being no snitch, but you done already got in trouble for it, so I can't be a snitch, man. At this point, I'm just being an investigator. You see the punch. You got caught in 4K right here, Marquise Bell, and that's what Brian Schottenheimer was referencing to start today's show. If he sees somebody else throw a punch at his teammate like that, then he gonna get you the hell up off his practice field, and this is the type of energy I like to see. Now, we can really say it's a real Wyatt party. You cannot get in. Everybody got that drink, and everybody off that head. This is exactly what we want to see from our team. The physicality, the competitiveness, the fire, the energy. Energy seems to be the main theme of day 2, as the defense seems to be jumping with energy, because it seems like to me, even though we all believe that the offense will end up being the stronger unit, to this point, it seems like the defense is putting up a damn good fight. Because I know Dak threw another interception today, this time to Kyle Elam, who is starting to stand out as the most consistent cornerback throughout this entire offseason programming. He's been the most consistent guy throughout the entirety of this thing. So I think Kyle Elam may end up really being a ball player, especially in this system. He caught an interception diving to the ground, so that shows some ball skills there, and was able to get up and return it a little bit. But really don't like to see all the turnovers. Hopefully we get that stuff cleaned up. Hopefully this thing just kind of iron sharpens iron, make Dak better. Dak, get it out your system right now. We're not trying to see it in no real game. Hopefully you learned your lesson, my guy. But yeah, the defense is getting after it, man. That just seems to be the biggest thing so far, is the energy from the defense. The linebackers, Maris Leofow, his name is being called out a lot. And these guys are out there trying to throw the skittle paps. I love it. I love it. I love how Schotty handled it. He was out there cussing they grown asses out, talking to them like they was his kids. He said, y'all hear me? Nah, do y'all understand me? Schotty, I didn't know you had it in you. Excuse us, Schotty. Excuse us. We may have underestimated what you are capable of, my good sir. Because Schotty laid the law down on them boys. And we're seeing the personality. The reason I'm excited is we're not learning too much about the schemes and all that stuff just yet. Again, I want to wait till the pads come on before we really start to see what it is as far as the plays being run and everything. Now, we are going to get into some of the observations being made about what the team is shaping up like as far as schematically. But I wanted to see the personality that was going to form on this team. What was going to be the dominant or dominating personality. And so far, the prevailing personality has been one of physicality. It has been one of high energy. It's been one of being highly competitive. And it's been one to where I think that this thing can really take a positive turn as an organization. I think Brian Schottenheimer can help this thing take a really positive turn if he's able to really translate this to on-the-field production, man. Because this right here, this is the type of fireworks I wanted to see to start training camp. I didn't know exactly how it looked, but this is what I imagined when I was like, this is going to be an exciting training camp. This is the exact type of activity that I imagined. Now, let's get up off the fight because Schotty don't want more fight, so we're not gonna overly glorify the fight, but I'm gonna glorify it a little bit because I like it. Let's get into some of the other things that kind of happened today at practice. George Pickens, he went down with what looks like a leg cramp, so it's nothing super serious. As you can see, Nick Harris got this footage right here. He took a shot on this play right here. We kind of caught the ball high on the sideline. The ball did come incomplete, but it looks like he stayed down for a little bit, maybe caught a little bit of a cramp. Could also be somewhat of a strain, right? So you got to kind of pay attention to that, and let's just see if George Pickens is active throughout the rest of this week, the remainder of this week. But he did leave practice, but they did say he looked like he was in good spirits, so hopefully just a leg cramp, nothing serious, nothing to worry about. But we are going to keep an eye on the George Pickens injury scare on day 2 of training camp, right? One thing we're seeing a lot of so far in training camp, Dak Prescott to Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson, again, looks leaner, looks faster, looks quicker, and they are using him on more routes where he's getting either upfield or across the field, and that's what you want to see with an athletic tight end. I think he and Luke Schoonmaker are going to really push each other to continue getting better because Luke Schoonmaker is another guy who apparently looks a lot better from last season. So he's another guy that we can look at that could potentially end up making a jump for this team. And that would leave the Cowboys having a pretty damn deep tight end room because they really like Brevin Spanford as well. And apparently he had a good productive day of practice. So the tight end group is looking pretty damn good so far. Now, I do want to get into CeeDee Lamb because CeeDee Lamb is talking like a grown-ass man, and you love to hear it, bro. This was CeeDee Lamb's response when he was asked about the Micah Parsons contract situation. And we're going to talk about CeeDee Lamb the day he had at camp because he absolutely broke Kalen Carson off, bro. Kalen Carson is developing the wrong type of highlight reel in the NFL so far. Whether it be the Derrick Henry stiff arm or CeeDee Lamb absolutely dislocating his kneecaps. Kalen Carson probably still out there on the practice field right now looking for his kneecaps because CeeDee made him completely displace the mugs. But we're going to get into CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, he's balling. Great to have CeeDee back. I'm going to be honest. I kind of forgot how exciting it is to see CeeDee Lamb training camp videos based off of that holdout last season, bro. But having CeeDee back, there's just a different type of confidence it inspires seeing that level of athlete out there putting guys to shame, bro, because that's what he did. He put guys to shame, and he had an excellent day on the actual practice field. More of the same for CeeDee Lamb, and nothing really to report on there as far as what he does. Now, what there is to report on as far as CeeDee Lamb is what he was talking about after practice because he had some very, very sage and sound advice for Micah Parsons. And this was exactly what I was saying on my live stream earlier this morning when we watched the full interview for Micah. Because remember, initially I was like, I'm with Micah. I'll support this message. You can't get mad at them. But when I actually watched the full 9-minute interview, it was very off-putting. The interview was like kind of weird. It was weirdly orchestrated. It was too, I don't know. It was way too just constructed. It was clear that they kind of mastermind that and wanted to try to get some kind of message across, but it was just very weirdly executed. And honestly, him and Diggs kind of hovering over each other and answering questions on each other's behalf and trying to control it was too much, and it was honestly unnecessary because you're gonna get paid and you don't have to do any of that, quite frankly, because you're going to get paid and you know that. And it's day 1 of training camp, and you just did this, bro. Day 1. CeeDee and Dak literally have to wait till a week before the season started to get paid. It's day 1 of training camp, and this to me was like a big red button type of situation, like a big red button moment for Micah as far as him and Trevon holding court like that in front of the reporters. And CeeDee had this to say: obviously, playing this media game with Jerry is not the best. It's not fun. It's not recommended. Micah knows what he brings to the table. He should get what he deserves. I'm not indulging in any of the craziness that they got going on, but I do want Micah to get paid soon. And that's all he has to say. And this was the perfect answer, and this is the perfect indication of CeeDee Lamb's growth just as a leader, as a young man, as a businessman, and understanding, hey, man, it's unnecessary. Why are you doing it? There's literally no actual reason why Micah Parsons has to do that, because he's going to get paid. Jerry is going to pay that man. Whether he talks about it in the media or not, he's going to pay him. So why even go into the details of what's going on with the contract situation and what is happening, what's not happening? Man, like Dak and CeeDee Lamb was doing. I'm going to let my agents handle that. It's going to get taken care of, bro. It's going to get taken care of. Don't have to start throwing mud and slinging mud, because at the end of the day, you're honestly doing it for no reason. The only reason you really could be doing that is so people like myself, regular ass people that honestly have no bearing on you or your life, could say, yeah, Micah, you're speaking up for all of us. You're saying what all the little people want you to say, but it's not the right thing to do. Whether it's right what you were saying, it wasn't the right thing to do. And that doesn't make what Jerry did right. But at the end of the day, bro, life ain't fair. If you want fair, go to a carnival. Jerry is the owner. None of us in life can do what our owners and our CEOs of our businesses and none of us can do what the top dog on the ladder can do. So let's stop acting like these players or anybody that Jerry Jones is paying is going to make him change how he does business, because it's not. So I love that CeeDee Lamb said this, because this is something that a real friend, a real teammate should say to Micah. And to be quite frank, shame on Trevon for allowing Micah to come over there and do all that and speak for him and kind of position themselves as kind of like rebels against the organization. It was too much. It was too much. Even if Micah called himself playing chess, it was just like, wow, bro, like this is off-putting. Like, it was weird. Go back and look and see if y'all can find another time where you've seen NFL players hold court like that and it wasn't a post-game interview. You've never seen NFL players hold court like that. So it looks like this huge mute in this situation, and it's not with even that, because he's going to get paid. And it ain't even like Jerry doing what Mike Brown with the Bengals doing, like, F you, boo-foo, buy us, F you. Jerry not even doing that. He not even saying he not going to pay you. He's saying he going to pay you. He said he wants to pay you. So it's like, why? Just let it play out. If you have to hold out, or if you have to feel like you need to go home because you don't feel safe practicing, then that's well within your rights as well. Do that as well. But going back and forth with Jerry serves nobody any purpose. All it does is make the fans that call themselves fans of the Cowboys, but not really. They just like seeing the Cowboys go through crap, or they like seeing Jerry go through crap. They're not really fans of the Cowboys. All you're going to do is make the people that want to be disruptors happy because they get to see disruption. That's it. But this is exactly the type of thing that CeeDee Lamb and any of the leadership structure of this team should be saying to a Micah Parsons. I'm so glad that he did say this, and he sent that message to his teammates like, hey, man, y'all got to chill out with this BS. We out here jumping at training camp, and y'all got this damn soap opera going on the sideline. F what Jerry said. Let what Jerry said be what Jerry said. Y'all handle yourselves and just be professional about it. Screw it. Who cares? Who cares? If he's going to end up giving you $200 million anyways, who cares? If he wants to be cute in the media, who cares? And you know he's going to give you that. So just let it play out how it's going to play out. The Cowboys have always historically done business around training camp time. Y'all can't force them to do things differently just because y'all want y'all checks quicker. Cut it out, bro. You're not missing no meals. Just chill out. If you need to protect yourself and hold out like CeeDee did. But damn, it is, y'all. It is. It's two things can be true. Does Micah, is he courageous? Did he say some things that needed to be said? Not really. It didn't need to be said. For what? Because it's not going to change anything. So why does it need to be said if it's not going to change anything? He said some things that we all feel, that we all think. He said some things that a lot of people can agree with. He had a point. He had a reason, a good reason to speak on what he spoke on. But you don't gain anything from executing that interview. I'm specifically talking about that 9-minute interview with him and Trevon Diggs. Nothing else. I'm specifically talking about that. You don't gain anything from doing it like that. So, yeah, I completely agree with CeeDee Lamb right here. But let's get into the rest of the takeaways from training camp. We already talked about most of the offense. The offensive line is looking really good. Apparently, Tyler Guyton is someone that's making an early impression on people that's out there, including one Vacha Lombardi, which y'all know, and I got to give credit where it's due. Y'all know Vacha Lombardi is someone who's been critical of a Tyler Guyton, and he said Tyler Guyton today is giving him like 5 or 6 moments where he heard him had to catch himself saying under his breath, let's go, TG, because Tyler Guyton is looking a lot better. So, again, more good news as it pertains to the offensive line. They look like a sturdy unit so far, and the guys that we want to get better, namely the left tackle, he's getting better. So let's go ahead and hopefully continue to see that trend upwards. and I want to continue to keep an eye out on what the offensive line is doing. We are continuing to see a trend of the offensive line getting out in space, so much so to where they're now running drills. And this is something we didn't see too much of, but they're prioritizing running drills of blocking in space and keeping proper spacing and creating lanes while running and blocking in space. And they're doing that under the watchful eye of offensive coordinator Clayton Adams, right? So Clayton Adams, the offensive line guru from the Arizona Cardinals, he's going to help kind of bring some of that stuff over to the Cowboys, and the offensive line is already starting to reap some of the benefits from that. Now, as far as the running back battle, nobody's really taking the lead right now. I'm seeing a lot of good things about a lot of different guys. Deuce Vaughn is having a good camp so far. You're hearing Miles Sanders is having a good camp so far. Javonte Williams. All these guys apparently are doing well in their own right. Jaden Blue, you can see his name mentioned. Maybe not as much as guys like a Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams, but all the running backs so far, all four guys seem to be doing a pretty decent job thus far. And obviously you have Phil Maffa and those other guys. I haven't heard Phil Maffa's name nearly as much as the other four guys I just named, but it still is kind of up in the air as it pertains to the running back battle. So we got to continue to keep an eye on that. But the running backs are looking good on their runs, and I do think that we're going to have a pretty decent running game this season, as long as we can establish a real hierarchy in that room. CeeDee Lamb also made some comments as it pertains to Dak Prescott being healthy and how the entire NFL knows what it's like to see a healthy Dak and CeeDee Lamb out there, and he's excited, and he said he's willing to remind everybody if they don't remember what it's like to have both of those guys out there. So CeeDee Lamb, super confident, feeling really good. He said he's probably the most excited guy out there at training camp to be back, maybe outside of a Sam Williams. And he also teased the fact that he don't think that this George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb duo is just going to be for one season, which I think all of us are kind of resigned to the idea that they are going to re-sign George Pickens. But CeeDee Lamb is just kind of reaffirming that, hey, this is what I want to happen. And those guys have been absolutely attached to the hip so far throughout training camp. If you see CeeDee Lamb in the video, you're not going to see George Pickens too far away from him. So those guys are like this right now already, and that is great as it pertains to team chemistry, as it pertains to everyone trying to build that family vibe, right? But CeeDee Lamb, again, echoing the sentiment that his leader, Dak Prescott, would say. He said they want to be more professional as it pertains to all the fights and stuff that's going on so far in training camp. But day 2 of training camp, a lot of emotion, a lot of explosive moments. But again, man, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Day 2 of training camp, things are starting to pick up a little bit. Defense looks really energetic. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens making their mark. Running backs looking good. Tight ends looking good. Offensive line is looking good. Pass rushers still looking good. Brian Schottenheimer had to put some foots in the ass today. But either way, appreciate you guys tuning in. Till next time.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.